The next question then becomes, well, what happens if we want to raise our own error? We want to let the outside world know that something went wrong. This is where the two commands raise error and throw come into play. Now we can raise errors whenever we detect any form of a problem. This might be a validation error. Maybe you've given us a number that's outside of the acceptable range. It could be some form of business logic where maybe something doesn't match up or otherwise. So errors allow us to let the outside world know that something went wrong. We have two ways that we can do this: raise error and throw. Raise error allows us to raise an error, and you'll notice that there's a series of parameters. The first parameter is the error message or the ID of the message that we want to raise. The next two are the severity and the state. And then if you want to make your message dynamic, it is possible to put in placeholders and to pass in different parameters for the rest of the message. And then finally, we have some additional arguments. The big one that I want to highlight here is the log argument, because what that will actually do is write that out to the SQL log. The last two options, no wait and set error, are ones that you're not going to find yourself reaching for all that often. No wait is immediately going to send the message back to the client and not look to see if there's any other code that needs to be executed, while set error allows you to set the error number back to 50,000 regardless of anything else. Let's take a quick look at how we could raise an error. What I'm going to do is just open up a new window inside the Management Studio, and let's just say raise error. Now on raise error, again, I can provide a message. So let's go ahead and just specify some message. This is a demo message. You'll notice I'm very creative here. And then I can provide my severity and my state. And I'm going to use 16 and 1. And I'll talk about the severity and the state here in just a moment. Now you'll notice that when I execute this, that sure enough, we get a message of 50,000, which is the default if I don't specify a specific ID. We then get the message. This is our demo message. And then you're going to notice that we've got the level of 16 and the state of 1 because those are the parameters that I provided. Now that sort of begs the question, well, what's the severity and what's the state? Well, as it turns out, the severity allows you to provide additional information about the type of problem, where number 10 is going to be informational, 11 through 16 are errors that can be fixed by the user. Now, most of the time, you'll just simply use the number 16, and if you are curious as to what all the other numbers mean, you can follow the link there, which will give you more information about that. As for the state, this is just providing, again, additional information, and depending on the state and the error, the state could give me some additional information about exactly which error or what the error means. Most of the time, all you're ever going to do is just simply use 1 as the state. And in fact, if you just went through most of your career with just 16, 1, you'd actually be just fine.